Good evening. It is Tuesday, the 12th of February 2013, and this is Vaper TV. And more importantly, this is Vaper Scene. Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid. Yes, indeed, it is Tuesday, it's Vaper Scene, and a warm welcome to you if you're watching live, and also if you're watching on one of the many catch-ups on Blip, on YouTube, on the download from iPlayer, and on the V-Player. You can catch us any time of day, any time of night, and you can get the shows live too. Marvellous, absolutely marvellous. And as you know, Vaper TV is now in its third year. Third year. 1, 2, 3, yes, because last Wednesday was 2 years to the day that Vaper Trails TV first broadcast, and what a cracking show it was. Now then, this week I'm here, but I'm not here. As I mentioned on the show last week, this is a pre-recorded show because I'm currently in Scotland and I'm away all week, so it was going to be difficult getting the show out, so I thought I'd pre-record it for you. And we're going to start this week with the second part of the interview that I did with Prof Beard. And in part 2, I've got a very, very special juicy. More about that a little bit later. And now we're going to go and speak to Prof. See you in a few. What are you using currently?
Right. Currently, I'm using several devices. I'm still, as you can see, using my old screwdrivers. I've got low resistance 901 atomizers on there, and I still use those because I like them. They give very good flavour. Mainly, I'm using Super T Precises. I've got two. I've got an 18350, which is my main workhorse, and I've also got an 18500 that I use with a kick in it. If I'm honest, I've never really got particularly engaged with variable voltages, etc. That's one of the reasons I quite like the kick, because I set it how I wanted and I've never fiddled with it again. Mostly, I'm quite happy with something like a 1.5, 1.7 ohm atomizer stuck with 3.7 volt battery, and it gives me what I want.
Yeah, I have to say I've never had a kick. I should think I should get one so I know what people are talking about.
Found them a bit unreliable, and I think it's because I kept you have to keep taking them in and out every time you change the battery. But a kicklet, which is a thing that Super T made, which is like a permanent holder for your kick that you just screw on the end of your Precise. And that has provided a much more consistent performance from the kick, so it's been a bit better.
Ah, that's an interesting addition to that mod. And what about juice? What is it that you vape on?
I vape tobacco juice almost exclusively, and my main consumption is OK Smoky roll-up flavours in double flavour, plus some of the El Toros Puros as well, which I rather like.
Neither of those I've actually tasted, and I've heard of both of them, but I tend not to vape the tobacco. I'm more of a fruity and chocolate and that kind of thing.
I actually dislike sweet flavours, so what was for me with smoking was I actually liked the taste of tobacco. So
yeah, I liked the taste of tobacco. I mean, I was a roll-up person for a long time. I didn't like it because I used filters when I used roll-ups, and occasionally if the tobacco was a little bit damp, you get this nasty acridness in the filter, which I really hated. But towards the end of my smoking time, I wasn't actually enjoying it at all. Whereas there's not a day where I don't enjoy vaping.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can honestly say that within months, well, not even months, weeks of starting to vape, I lost all interest in smoking. And I was a 30 a day ready-made smoker. So vaping has also saved me a fortune as well.
But has it saved you a fortune? Is that a popular misconception? Because people do say switch to vaping and you'll spend a hell of a lot less money because you're not spending, £7 a day on a packet of cigarettes. But when you start investing in mods and the other stuff, is it more expensive?
Buy hundreds of mods. I mean, if I think about what I've got at the moment, I've got my collection of screwdrivers. I've got a Mako Minnow. I've got two Precises. I've got a Super T, Super 6. I've got an Apex Ultra. And I've got a Touchwood Mini. Oh, yeah. And that's about it. Which in 4 odd years, getting on for 4 years, isn't very much.
No, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking on my desk here. I've got the Lambo here. I've got a gripper over there. I've got a spinner, the MVP. I've also got a screwdriver Mark II behind me, and what was the other thing I got? I got it from the classes actually on UK Vapors. There was the screwdriver Mark II. There was a little Siggy Likey kit, PCT, and what was that little one? Kind of rubberized one.
Oh God.
Tech stick thing.
Yeah. I've got a few ego type things floating about that I've acquired over the years. They're largely things that people have given me. But I tend to use those when I go abroad because they're things you can chuck in your luggage. It doesn't matter if they come to harm.
Absolutely, or get lost, or you leave on the beach, or whatever.
Yeah, and I haven't really gone mad on rebuildables either. I mean, I was one of the early adopters in the sense that I bought a Bully, one of the Bully classics when they started, and I've got a 901 and a 510 classic Bully, and I've got one of the smaller tank cartridge Bullies. I've got a Mark T rebuildable, and I've got one of the E-Baron spiral drippers, and that's it. I haven't really got into the sort of furore of constantly rebuilding things. If I'm honest, I'm too lazy to be bothered to rebuild atomizers. And half the time, it's easier for me to just get out another 306 than it is to remember where I put me wire and things and do a rebuild. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I've taken to the E-Baron Spiral, because I just bought a bunch of pre-built coils and wicks for it, and it only takes about 2 minutes to change. Well, atomizers, I think, are probably one of the best devices for the new Vaper.
Absolutely, I think we all agree that the best setup for somebody starting is an Ego battery with a clearomizer. It's not much faff at all. You just put the juice in and away you go. Yes, they don't last forever, but you can get 2, 3, sometimes 4 weeks out of one without it going. I mean, I've got a 5mm one here that I've been using for the past few weeks, and it has broken at the top where it connects on, which they normally do, which is a shame. So I've just put a bit of tape on to keep the drawer tight, and it's still wicking perfectly and it's still vaping perfectly. So, for a new starter, there's kits out there for like £15 now with a battery and a charger, a USB charger and a clearomizer, and then it's just a bottle of juice. So for 20 quid, someone can give it a serious try And let's face it, what's that? It's less than 3 packets of cigarettes, and that'll last you, at least a week with 5 mils of juice.
If I was smoking my old brand of ready-mades at the level I used to smoke, I'd be spending a tenner a day on smoking nowadays. Well, that's an expensive mod a fortnight, isn't it?
It is indeed. And what would you say your expenditure is on a weekly basis now with vaping for your juice?
I'll be surprised if it's much more than about a £5 a week, to be honest, given that juice has actually got cheaper, hasn't it?
I make about 75% of what I vape, and then the rest I buy.
3 mil a day. So that's 21 mil a week, isn't it? Less than a tenner anyway.
Absolutely, yeah, about a tenner. 30 mils is about between 12 and 14, isn't it, really? And what strength do you vape at?
24 or 30. Smoky do theirs in lower ones like 24s. They do 30s and they do 38. And I find the 38 a little bit too strong, and the 30 is about right.
Right. Have you tried the 45?
No, I haven't. No.
Where do you see things going if the European Union get their way with this European Tobacco Products Directive and the Clause 3 in relation to the strength of e-juice?
I honestly don't know. My gut feeling is that it won't happen. So my thinking's rather along that lines. I think if they do try and restrict the strength, there will be a substantial black market arise, because I think the horse has bolted, quite honestly, with these things.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, and those of us who mix our own are certainly going to be stocking up on the products that we need. I think if it does happen, that will be the only way people are going to get e-cig liquid at any decent strength.
My gut feeling is the market has reached the scale where it's going to be very difficult to stop now. And so far, we've got issues with the MHRA, etc. That remains to be seen. But so far, my gut feeling is that the money involved is getting sufficiently large to make it less attractive to kill.
Yeah, with you on that. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But it doesn't mean that we can all sit on our laurels and do nothing in the meantime. And we all need to do...
Very important, everybody lobbies.
So what I'd like to say is thank you so much, Prof, for joining us. Hopefully we can get you on again. And with any luck, if we get a Vape Fest this year, we can sit down for a chat and a pint. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon. And yes, indeed, thank you very much, Prof, for having a chat with me when we did. We were chatting for about an hour, and I edited down into those 2 interviews, so I hope you enjoyed that. And you just got to love his beard. That is a marvellous beard, hence the name. And he's, of course, also a professor. So Prof Beard is a apt name indeed. And thank you to all the other forums out there as well that do sterling work, letting everyone get together and discuss and teach and pass this great hobby of ours around. Now we are going to go into a short ad break, and when we come back I've got a rather special Juicy and it's with Andy Sutton, and he's got some 45mg juice. You've got to watch it. Don't go away. Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid.
iVaper and iVaper Elixir, based in Yorkshire, for your e-cig needs. That's iVaper.co.uk and iVaper-elixir.co.uk. iVaper and iVaper-elixir.co.uk, proud sponsors of VaporTrails.tv.
GG, because you want one.
And now it's back to Vaper Scene on Vaper Trails TV. Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid. And we're back in the room. Hello. Now, before we go into the little juicy, I have got a kind of special show as yours. This week, as it's a pre-record, we're not doing the winner, so we can get some more pictures in for next week. But what this is all the pictures that have ever been sent in, and it includes the winner's pictures too. If you do see your picture there and it hasn't won yet, don't despair, because it's still in the running. All the pictures stay in my little pictures folder until I pick one, and then it goes into my winners folder. So keep your pictures coming in and have a little look at the ones that we've had so far. And now it's time for Show Us Yours, sponsored by Flavour Art UK.
Go as yours. Sponsored by Flavour Art UK.
Yes, there you go. Those are all the pictures that have been sent so far. Some of them you will have seen already because they've won, and there's also been some there where the winners have sent in pictures of themselves with the juice that they've won. And if you would like to win a bottle of juice, 30ml bottle of juice, to your strength and flavour specification, send your pics to Vaper Scene at vaportrails.tv. And if you get them in by Tuesday at midday of the day of the show going out, which is obviously Tuesday, I will do my very best to show them on that week's show. If not, it will be the next week's show. And I wish I could have used the music from Vision On and Take Heart, for those of you who remember those two shows, but obviously it is copyrighted music, so I can't use that, but that would have been funny. Anyway, we are going to crack on now with the little juicy from our very own Andy Sutton, who has returned back to Vaper Trails TV. And believe me, it's a corker. Have a watch.
Juicy.
So on the drive to work, if anybody saw my guest appearance on Dave's Tackle Box, hosted by Mr. Dawn.
You want breathing in? There you go.
So right now, driving to work, and thought that I would actually try and get through the day with this Flavour Arts UK King Arthur's pipe. So I put the Quacko on to a Neo battery, and little drip tip looks quite nice, I think you'll agree. And see how I get on with it throughout the day. As I said on the show the other night, well, there's a slight flavour, but it's just pain and crying. The sort of pepperiness that I thought was just the extra nicotine is actually, I bought the wrong one, really. I thought I was buying something with extra flavour, and what I was actually buying was extra throat hit in the form of pepper. So it's definitely a tobacco flavour, which is good. It's reminiscent of dark leaf tobacco, quite woody, quite oaky, quite floral. Quite a little undertone of fruitiness. So sort of fruity, not getting any nuttiness now. No nuttiness. No, but you do get you do get a big old wallop from the wow. Oh, maybe not the best juice for for driving. Oh, it does tickle. Yeah, in terms of throat hit, it is a corker. Now, this is 45 milligrams. So you'd expect a big throat hit, but with that extra bite, it really does pack a punch. Flavour wise, it's nice. It's a standard Flavour Arts rich tobacco flavour. The overpowering thing is this pepper. I keep banging on about this pepper. Yeah, I'd be very interested to try the version without the bite extra, to actually find out what this tastes like, and especially at 45 milligrams. If you're not used to vaping, well, let's just put it this way, if you don't like throat hits, I'd give this a miss. But that said, I am going to vape all day because I like throat hit, and I am determined this will not beat me. So the interesting thing with this juice, apart from, I don't know if I've mentioned this has got pepper in it, whether the 45 milligrams will actually make me vape less. Now, before I knew it had pepper in it, I don't know if I've mentioned that, I just thought it was the stronger strength making me put it down, but I noticed I was picking something else up, because something that didn't scare me, basically, I was picking up. So I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to embrace the throat hit and see what happens. Good vapor production. Good vapor production. Good vapor production. It's got a bit of a kick though, I don't know if I've mentioned that. Eyes aren't watering this morning. Started crying when I vaped it live, but I'm alright now. It has got a kick though. Good lord. Throat hit's really nice. Still getting that sort of sharp throat hit, but the subtleties of the tobacco are coming through a little bit more now as I get used to the big wallop from that Bite Extra whiteout, and no cough. Nice. Yeah, I do feel like I need to put it down, so that's quite interesting. I don't really normally get that with, well, occasionally with 36. 24 can be an all-day chain vape for me. 45 though, yeah, I can see having it on a device. You would vape less. Would I buy another bottle of Bite Extra? I think if you vape other juices other than Bite Extra, it's going to take you a little while to get used to that hit. This, I think if you vape this, you are vaping it for the nicotine strength and the slight novelty value of that, experiencing what Bite Extra feels like. I was going to say tastes like, but it's more feels like. It's more of a physical reaction to it. So here I am at work, and we'll see how we get on. Be asking yourself, why is Andy back in the car? Well, Andy's back in the car because his wife locked herself out. Now I have to drive 45 minutes back home to let her back in. I asked at work, what's the solution to someone who keeps locking themselves out? Because this isn't the first time. Hide a key outside the house. Second solution, get another key cut and make her wear a necklace with it on it. Third, divorce. You do get used to the throat hit from the pepper quite quickly. It's a quite rich tobacco, and I do like throat hit. This is a perfect vape for when you're in the car, but you sort of need to get used to it because coughing and spluttering isn't really that brilliant, you know, when you're driving. It's always better to be able to see clearly. And I would say, because I know you want to know, this isn't particularly nutty. I'd go as far as to say that King Arthur's pipe doesn't have any nuts. Oh, the cow.
Juicy, 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 juicy.
Thank you so much, Andy. I really enjoyed watching that. Let's just summarise here. Good vapor production. It's got a hell of a throat hit. It's very peppery, and there's no nuts in it. And the final thing, the conundrum: what do you do with a wife who keeps locking herself out? I'm sure chat is talking about that as we speak. Anyway, I'm sure Andy will be back on another show with some more juicy juices. Let's see what happens there. I am already out of time, so thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much if you're watching this on one of the various other options, either on the V Player or YouTube or via the download. And don't forget to tune in to Dave Dawn tomorrow night and on Thursday night, Dave K on Sunday, and Mark and Gary on Monday. I will see you on the next show, which is next Tuesday. Until then, my friends, happy vaping. Peace out. Vaper Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid.